All right, Libra, this is your mid-December 2020 love horoscope and taroscope. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about what's happening in the stars, so you have some context as to what's going to happen in the cards. We're going to pull some Angels Oracle, take a look at the love life. But let's take a look at what's happening in the sky first. We have some big things happening in Libra. You definitely have some intense things, right? So let's take a look at the sun. This is where our vitality is at. This is where the focus of the month is going to be at. The sun just moved into Capricorn on yesterday. That was December 21st. It's going to be in Capricorn until January 19th, so about 4 weeks. Capricorn is 4 signs past Libra. The 4th house is all about home, family, foundation, and the mother. So these themes are going to ring very true for you over the next 4 weeks. You're going to be focused on family and reviewing the foundations by which you have built your life. Jupiter and Saturn, these are the 2 heavy hitters. They just met for the great conjunction yesterday on December 21st. It's the winter solstice. It's a very rare event. Jupiter and Saturn only meet up once every 20 years, and they've been meeting up in the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo for the last 200 years. But now they're switching signs to the air signs. That's you, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So now we're moving away from this very earthly, tangible, kind of an exploitation of the earth. It's about the economy, it's about government, it's about structures. Now we're moving more to the intellectual. We're moving to the realms of the ethereal, outer space. This is where we go the distance. The air signs are known to be very intelligent, so this is a time of technology and innovation. Jupiter and Saturn are 2 polar opposite planets. Saturn is the planet of restriction. It's the lord of karma, time. It rules this physical earth. Jupiter, on the other hand, is a benefic planet. It expands anything that it's near. It brings luck and gifts. The 2 have been sitting next to each other for the last couple months in your 4th house of family, foundation, the home, and anything dealing with the mother. So if these themes run true and it feels like a push and pull, 2 steps forward, 1 step backward, the reason is Saturn's a restrictive planet. It's delay, it's hard lessons, it's discipline and responsibility. So on the one hand, Saturn, which is in its home sign of Capricorn, does very well there. It's the ruler. Jupiter is a guest. Jupiter doesn't bring the gifts like it used to. Jupiter is in its fall position in Capricorn. So we see things like the pandemic, the 2008 recession. That's the last time Jupiter was in Capricorn. The 2 have met up at the very last degrees of Capricorn over the last couple of days, and now they've conjoined in Aquarius. This is the great conjunction. So we're moving away from 4th house matters into 5th house matters for you, Libra. What does this mean for you? The 5th house is all about fun, romance, games, children, and creativity. You're going to see these themes play out significantly over 2021. Jupiter takes about a year to pass through any sign. So you get the benefic planet in your 5th house of romance, fun, and kids for the next year. The thing is, the caveat, Jupiter and Saturn are conjoined right now, and they're slower moving planets. It's going to take a while for Jupiter to separate from Saturn. Saturn is going to be camped out in your 5th house in Aquarius for the next 3 years. So these are hard lessons. So you got to do your karmic work. You got to take responsibility. You got to let go of the things that aren't working, especially on romance. Anything dealing with creativity, it's a great time to get creative. If you're in the creative arts, if you're in advertising, anything like that, it will be boosted. But you need to do the work, because right now, Saturn co-rules Aquarius. So it's still in its dignity here, but Jupiter does well too. So it's going to be a push and pull. You're going to see power dynamics play out with authority. Be aware of that. But realize we're moving away from large emphasis on home and family and foundation, and now into romance, creativity, and children. Venus, the god of love, money, and romance, is sitting in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is 3 signs past Libra. This is the house of communication and learning. Venus right now, let me back up. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the dispositor of Sagittarius and Pisces. What does that mean? We take a look at what's happening with Jupiter, sitting next to Saturn, which is in its dignified sign of Aquarius. So right now, Jupiter's still hampered. Jupiter's the expander, it's the great benefic. Venus is the lesser benefic. So the two aren't doing so well right now while Saturn's conjoined with Jupiter. Give it a few months, February, March, they start to separate. You'll start to see the gifts rain in, but you got to be patient. So right now, communication things might be a little bit tough, or maybe you're trying to get something going on the learning front. Maybe you're trying to progress yourself, better yourself, and you're just having trouble with that. Rest assured, right now you are going against the tide, but the tides will turn. Yesterday, December 21st, Venus was making an awkward angle over to Uranus, which is sitting in Taurus. Taurus is 8 signs past Libra. The 8th house has to do with endings. It has to do with sex, things unseen. It's ruled by Pluto. So Pluto's the god of the underworld. So it's things that bubble up that you don't necessarily see coming. So if you've been dealing with some tough things on the communication front, if there's been some endings, if you're dealing with intimacy, possible lump sums here, maybe you were expecting a bonus that maybe isn't quite as big as you would hope. The reason for that is Venus is making these awkward angles over to Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of shock and awe. It's the planet of change. It represents independence. It's here to shake things up and bring in the new reality. So there might have been a reality check yesterday or even today. The subject of this might be regarding the family, because Venus is making an antitia over to Pluto. Antitias are things we don't see coming, and sometimes it's a little bit malefic. And Pluto is sitting in your 4th house of home, family, and the mother. So that's Capricorn for you. Pluto's been there for many years, deconstructing this area to make sure it's built on a solid foundation so you can rise above and build something brand new. It's going to be there for the next couple years until 2024. So we're not done with 4th house matters with you. You're still going to be reviewing the foundations of your life. There could be possible changes in the home, possibly with the family. These are big themes happening for Libra right now. But that Venus aspect over to Uranus and Pluto, that can be magnetic energy, but it's unstable. So anything dealing with endings, this can produce arguments too. So yesterday was kind of an awkward day, even though Saturn and Jupiter were moving into Aquarius, moving out of your 4th house. Now the sun's moving back into your 4th house. So it's kind of like a review of the entire year. Where have you gone? Did you learn your lessons, Libra? Tomorrow, December 23rd, this is another important day. This is a day of power dynamics. And again, this is going to be dealing with family. Mars, who rules Aries, is sitting in his home sign. He's dignified here. Mars can be aggressive energy, but it's also ambition, it's vitality, and it's your sex drive. It's sitting in your 7th house of one-on-one partnerships, legal contracts, and marriage. So if things have been kind of rough on the partnership front, or it's someone you're seeing, or if there's tension between home and partners, the reason for that is Mars is going to make an exact square over to Pluto. These are malefic planets. Mars is the god of war. Pluto is the god of the underworld. This is covert action. These are things that we might not see coming, and it produces aggressive energy. To provide some context to this transit, this is energy that's been playing out throughout 2021, about September, October timeframe. These two have met up 3 times this year. This is the last and final square that they make until Mars will move on. But to provide some context, Mars travels around the sun about once every 2 years. It retrograded in its home sign of Aries from September, October, November. So you might have been reviewing partnerships during that time, marriage, legal contracts. If things have ended during that time, because Mars shakes things up, realize that this is kind of like the final push before things go to the next level, or it's just a finality to whatever occurred during that September, October, November timeframe. The last time Mars retrograded in its home sign, we watch these things very closely on astrology because it's very telling what's going to happen on a personal and global global level. So watch the news on 12/23, because back in November of 1941, Mars was retrograding in the sign of Aries, in his home sign. And on December 7th of 1941, Pearl Harbor happened. So again, this is covert attacks, things we did not see coming. It's aggressive energy, it's battles. Mars retrograded again in Aries in November of 1972. During this time, the Greek president lost his seat. He was ousted. No bloodshed, but this is a transition of power. You can see where we're going with this. The last time Mars retrograded in Aries was August of 1988. The Iran-Iraq war was happening during this time, and 50,000 Kurds were killed with chemical agents. What's interesting about that is Mars was making a hard aspect, a square, over to nebulous Neptune. And Neptune is known to be hazy, cloudy. It produces confusion. So you can see the correlation between chemical agents and Neptune. Libra, for you on a personal level, again, this is happening on your one-on-one partnerships and home and family and foundation. So if there's any tension on that level, I have to urge you to not engage. You are typically a harmonious sign. You look for the balance. You look to bring peace. You are the peacemaker. You are the diplomat. So this is good energy in the sense that you can take the energy down. You can ground it. You can bring peace to any situation, but just be aware, if there's friction happening in the home front or with your partner, this is the reason why Mars will eventually move on the 23rd, 24th, but it's still going to be making a tight angle. So, things might linger for a few days. Keep an eye on the news. What's interesting about the 1988 date, yesterday, the Attorney General announced that he was bringing charges against a bombing that happened on Pan Am back in 1988. It was a 747 that was taken down by a bomb. It was a terrorist attack. So that was happening right around this time too. So there's weird things going on in the planet. We just heard about the cyber attack. That's covert energy. That's covert action. We might see this play out again in some other way. So be aware of it. The energy is high right now. It can be very aggressive. Use your diplomatic skills, Libra, to take it down. As if that wasn't enough, we are ending the year, December 30th, with the Cancer full moon. We started 2020 with the Cancer full moon. Now we're ending it with the Cancer full moon. This is essentially a bookend for the entire year. Cancer is 10 signs past Libra. So that is the 10th house. The 10th house deals with career matters, public, your reputation. So just an FYI, the moon rules Cancer. This is potent. This is emotional. So there could be some things coming up on the work front at the end of the year for you. And it can be difficult. So keep that in mind. Work matters might bubble up at the end of the year. So, all right, with that said, Libra, let's pull some angel cards for you. Yeah, Venus in the third, communication could be rough. Things on the intimacy level could be awkward for some reason. Maybe yesterday was an awkward day. And then Mars in your seventh of partnerships, marriage. It's hitting the love houses, and now you have Jupiter and Saturn going into your fifth house. So if you did the work on reviewing your foundations and your beliefs and what it is you want on the romance front or children and creativity, good things could come your way. But, Saturn is also a hard lesson. So you got to clear out the karmic sludge. All right, Libra. See what's happening with love. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. We just talked about disengaging from any type of battles. You're probably exhausted. The planets are hitting your angular houses, and the angular houses are your first house of self, your fourth house of roots, family, the home. We talked a lot about the fourth house. The seventh house of partnerships is an angular house, and then the 10th house. You have 3 of the angular houses being hit here. This is difficult stuff. So it's time for you to retreat. It's time for you to rest. Take some time off for yourself if you possibly can during the rest of the year, but do not engage around the 23rd because things are going to get messy. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. All right. This is asking you to put a little bit more effort in. Maybe with, things happening, especially in that fourth house, you're reviewing the foundation of relationships. So, maybe you've retreated a little bit and you're reconsidering how to move forward. That wouldn't surprise me at all. We're gonna pull some tarot. Yeah, the stars are asking you to definitely put an effort into your fifth house of romance. So if things have not been good on that front, or if you're trying to spice things up and you're in a current partnership, it's time to make the effort. Time to sit down with a significant other or do some deep reflection and think about what it is you really want. Libra, you are the sign of partnership. So you're very good with this. But you can also be extremely indecisive. So it takes you a while to make up your mind, and you want to avoid paralysis by analysis, because that's when people dump you, when you don't make a decision. All right. This is for Libra. This is a general reading. The messages will not resonate with all of you. Be sure to check out your rising sign, Venus and Moon. Sometimes those signs will resonate more with you depending on what's happening in your natal chart. All right, so we have retreat and make the effort. Let's see what's happening with you, Libra. Queen of Wands. This is an intuition card. This can also represent a mother-type figure. The black cat here is representative of spirituality and intuition. She's... it's a fire sign, so this is Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Mars is sitting in Aries right now. That's partnerships. Page of Wands, messages, communication. Venus is sitting in your communication house. There's probably been some things happening on that home front. I had taken a guess. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles, that's the home. What's going on with you, Libra? Three of Wands, a lot of Wands energy here. You be careful of the 23rd, which is tomorrow. The Lovers, fifth house, seventh house, fifth house for romance, seventh house partnerships. This is a decision. Five of Cups, okay. All right, Libra. So you got the retreat card. There's going to be communication. Okay. Someone's going to be triggered. Okay. This is the Queen of Wands. This type of energy is someone that knows what they want. They can be pretty fiery. A lot of gusto. She's in control. She goes for it. And she's got great intuition, but I have a feeling this character, whoever this is in your life, is going to be triggered in the next couple of days, because you have, or there could be some news. I mean, this could be good news too, but this is asking you to retreat. So if there's someone in your life, whether it's, whoever's embodying this type of Queen of Wands energy, there's going to be a message here, and it's a fiery one. There's a lot of firepower in the air right now. Libra, you're an air sign. So if you think about fire and air breathes into the fire. Don't make it explode. Don't make the situation worse. Fires go down quickly when there's no air. So don't, like I said, don't engage. Retreat. It's definitely going to come from the house. This has to deal with money. This has to deal with family. There's something going on in those foundations that you need to just back off for a little bit. If it's a partnership, this is asking you to retreat from the partnership. Give it some time. If things have been rocky on that front, time is always the best healer, okay? So you need to give it some time. If there are messages coming in with money, with family, partnership of any type, you know, that 7th house is being activated here. Probably best to give it a few days, okay? Don't engage. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Use your intuition. Libra, you're looking at your options. This is the options card. This is not knowing what to do. This is you balancing. You are the scales. You're going to take your time to make a decision. I think you need to, because next is the decision card. This is the Lovers, so it very well could deal with love, but maybe you're taking a look at different options. But ultimately, this is a decision. So options to decision, right? Take your time. You know there's plenty of options out there. What's the next course here, right? The decision's coming. The decision's to walk away. Notice there's 3 cups on the ground, 2 cups standing. This is the man walking away. This is the man retreating. If things aren't working out and you're putting energy into something that you're not getting back, if it's not a reciprocal relationship, doesn't matter if it's friends, doesn't matter if it's loved ones, you need to have reciprocal relationships. You are the scales. You are about fairness and balance. So for you, equality in relationships is of the utmost importance. This is an imbalanced relationship. 3 cups on the ground, 2 standing up. This causes Libras to walk away, or someone else is walking away. Perhaps you need to make the effort, because if this isn't you, this is someone else looking at options and they're making a decision to walk away. You need to start making an effort. Make sure, if you want to keep people around and you want to make the effort, Libra, don't sit on the sidelines and have paralysis by analysis. Let's pull one more card for the outcome. Yeah, Knight of Wands. So you got a lot of fire energy here. So the Knight of Wands can be fairly flamboyant, not stable. They come in and they come out. The faster they come in, the faster they leave. So keep that in mind. If you're dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Venus is sitting in Sag with communication right now. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Mars is sitting in Aries in your partnership sector. You're going to hear something, and I don't think this is going to work out. Not yet. You got to review the foundation. You got your relationships need to be built on a solid foundation. That was the lesson for you, Libra, over the last 4 years. So if something is not built on the solid foundation and it's left, let it go. It's not meant for you. There's something better coming. Okay. Love is coming. Jupiter will separate from Saturn over the next couple of months. This is your time to reap those rewards if you've done the work and you've cleared out the karmic sludge and you've learned the hard lessons. All right, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like these videos, please subscribe, click that like button. I wish you guys a happy holidays. I am going to do an in-depth reading for each sign in 2021, so keep a lookout for that. Until next time, take care.